Thank you very much indeed. Here I am. Hello everybody. So I live in the north of Italy and our school closed down last 24th of February. So it means it's already almost 1 month. At the beginning it was quite difficult, and I can say that I agree with Andreas that to say the first week was considered almost a week of holiday. But now things have changed, and students little by little got involved in this new environment of the school that I have to say they also appreciate. But how may I go on moving the slides, because I've got the arrow and then...
The arrow is under the, at the bottom on the left. You see two arrows.
Sorry, okay.
The 1 point.
Okay, here I am. So, as I told you, our experience is clear that we have this slogan, I stay at home, and now the school plays a very important role because it's an educational community. Students stay at home, they're in isolation, and the school represents for them a chance to get in touch with the others. So the role of the teacher is really fundamental, and empathy plays a very important role in this moment. So what I have to say to teachers who are approaching this new experience, I would say that there are 3 different tools that are essential. One is the platform, the other one is the video meeting tool, and then a common dashboard. Why? As my colleagues already showed you, the platform is important because you can use it. I use Google Classroom, but as you saw before, there are many others. Probably many schools in Northern Europe have already their own school platforms, and they have already experiences in this. But it's very easy to use, for example, Google Classroom. Many of my colleagues didn't use it before, but with a short training using tutorials, it was easy for them to start using Google Classroom. The first feature is this one, that to say teacher gives a message and students can reply, so you may be sure that they got the message. It's a sort of chat line. You can use it in different ways. The second feature is probably more important, that to say you can assign a work, and it may be of different types, text, but also videos, as I did here. And when a work is assigned, you have to wait for the delivery of the work. And of course, every single student has got his folder. So it will be much easier one day when we have to give the accountability of the period, that to say we can keep records of their homework delivery. And so that's very important. So, video meetings, what can I tell you? Don't transform them into traditional lectures in which the teacher speaks for about 1 hour. Let that chance of meeting together as an opportunity for interaction, because these students are at home, alone, isolated. The school at this point is a virtual room where they can chat together, of course, about school matters. So I would suggest to give the possibility to have a brainstorming, a class discussion, or homework check, the one you assigned on a Google Classroom, and let them work also on a peer review. Then, third point, you may ask yourself, what should I teach? Recently, our ministry changed things, and it told us to rearrange, to readjust the plans we had at the beginning of the year. So there's a certain flexibility in the programs. And the first one is to do what you are able to do, that to say what you can do with your ICT skills, and what can you find on the net that is available for you. So my suggestion is, as these students alone at home, I repeat, maybe also a bit scared, if you can readjust the planning, try to find out something which is motivating and involving for them, because this is very important to give them a positive perspective of life. The other suggestion about videos, there are many colleagues who create their own videos, but I tell you, this is very energy consuming, and video editing is an art. So you have not only to know technically how to record a video, but also to be able to use certain communication skills. And I would suggest that on the net there are so many resources available made by professional people. In these videos there are animation, there are special graphic effects, so just use them. And here is a list, as you can see, of the many things available now. I would recommend TED because there are all subjects over there, and there's already checking of the students' acquisition of new notions by means of a multiple choice. Then, and you can find especially science lessons are great over there. Then you can suggest a TED talk, because this is something very updated and so motivating. Europeana has opened its archive to everybody. UNESCO did the same, BBC, National Geographic, and then there's YouTube, which may contain lots and lots of videos. So my personal suggestion is, don't waste time recording your own video. Ask students to have a look to what you have selected. If you select different sources, it's even much better, because in this way they can compare two different sources of information. And so the discussion on the group during the video lesson may be based on this comparison, which is also media education, because this new generation is characterized by the presence of many different sources of information. The other point I want to tell you, these students alone probably watch TV for so many hours a day. So why don't we get closer to their everyday reality? Choose a range of movies, and many of them can reach these movies for free on different channels. And then use these movies to study something about history, or the narrative technique, or the themes, or the characters. It may be done also, if you want, on TV series, as they are mostly TV series addicted. But it's a way to make them think about what they watch, to develop their critical thinking. The other point is, this is a project I made one of the first weeks of our pause, and I invited the students to live some moments with their family. They are 14 years old, and I asked them to create a video with a recipe of their family. You can do it in many other ways. Students really appreciated them. The other, I'm finishing with just another tip, which is remember to keep a track of the students' activity, and so give them different quizzes. So just to end, the big challenge, to keep the students involved, to give them something lively and motivating, to have everybody connected. And I agree, a couple of them per class, so not a big percentage, somebody has problems. The bigger reward is that we can do something that is part of a history, because this moment is very hard for everybody, and we will give our support to our students. So our slogan is United We Stand.